I talked about the dark side of being an attractive man. Now let's talk about the dark side of being a real man. While the attractive man fights more battles about how he's treated behind incorrect perceptions of who he is, the dark side of being a real man comes with more internal battles. And these ain't necessarily two different men, because you can't be both attractive and real. But the difference is, with the real man, a lot of the weight of it is self-generated. That's why number one is this. The real man will often wrestle with himself with doing what needs to be done, but also keeping his humanity intact. When people start to see how reliable, dependable you are, you can easily become a machine in their life. They unintentionally get used to your usefulness. So they start to treat you like a machine and forget that you're a human also. You everything you need to be for everybody else, but deep down, you're energetically high and dry. And that takes me into the next part. As a real man, you have to struggle with a lot of the tough decisions you have to make. Just like I said on the last point, a lot of people will forget your humanity as a man when you display yourself as useful. So being a real man, one of the biggest battles is balancing when to say no and when to lend your hand. But like I said, the battle comes in the internal feeling that you're doing something wrong if you ever decline to be useful for others' needs, to take care of your own needs. And one of the heaviest realizations you'll have as a real man, that it's always a balance of God-given duty and humanity, and that it's very few people that's ever gonna make sure that you're really okay as a man, that you're really taken care of. So in other words, nobody is gonna hold your hand in making sure you straight as a man. So you gotta do it. And understand that people will use you up till you can't be used no more unless you keep an eye on it. And that brings me to the last point. As a real man, you'll be resented, both consciously and unconsciously, by men and women. The women that'll resent you do so because even though they value your usefulness and the way you stand firm in this world, they know that they won't be able to experience that unless they come correct in a real manner also with clear ways that they plan to reciprocate your energy. That's why a lot of women say they want a real man that can tell you what a real man can do. But in reality, their internal world ain't even ready for a real man, which is why they'll resent your existence. And then men will resent you because you represent something that most of them can't be, because it takes a lot of balls, a lot of testicular fortitude to be a real man. And when you showing discipline and keeping it real, even to your own detriment sometimes, in the midst of men that couldn't fathom doing the same, they naturally resent you. They hate you for that. Because deep down, it exposes the fact that they had no excuse for being the suckers that they are. Being a real man is tough, for sure. But I promise you, it's the only type of man that you want to be. Because whatever pain you'll feel from being a real man, they pale in comparison to the pain of knowing that you're not a man at all. Tell me if this resonated with y'all down in the comments. And follow for more, because they ain't going to show you this twice. Peace.